Chosen one, this moment is not a coincidence. Your soul was drawn to this video because the heavens whispered the same message to you 7 times. The number 1111 didn't appear before your eyes for nothing, and the prayers of 33 prophets did not fall upon you by chance. You are one of the 144,000 chosen, and your presence here is a divine sign. This message was sent to awaken the secret that has been resting within your heart. What you are about to hear are not just words, but divine vibrations that will sink deep into your soul. If these words are touching you, leave your heart in the comments so the heavens can witness your testimony. Because when you write, another soul will awaken. Family, our voice is rising. We are walking toward our first 1,000 subscribers. If this message speaks to you, press like, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and comment, I'm part of this mission. Now prepare yourself, for this video will illuminate your path. Those who recognize the signs of God know that nothing is random. That's why your being here is already a miracle. At noon, something significant is going to happen that will alter everything. The next 2 noons are not your typical clock moments. They are working marvels that God has specially planned for you. This appointment is supernatural, a window of holiness when the power of heaven will descend and change your life in ways you never could have predicted. This is no accident if you're watching. You are a chosen one, which is why God brought you here to hear this message. You have to take action now, but your breakthrough is on the horizon. Don't wait. Enter. Put everything in its proper place and wait for the miracle that is already coming. Pause this video and take 3 actions before we delve further. To help us reach 90,000 selected ones, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment with the number 99 to send a strong message to the universe. This will ignite the marvels planned for these upcoming no-moon noons and intensify the holy energy surrounding you. Keep in mind that you will watch through to the very finish if you are actually chosen. If you don't, you can miss the turning point in your life. Prepare yourself. The miracle is about to happen at noon. Are you prepared to accept? The divine is calling you to embark on a significant personal breakthrough at precisely noon, a sacred moment that will come at a time unlike any other. This time on the clock is not just another one. The purpose of this spiritual doorway is to change your inner world. Imagine yourself on the brink of a new chapter in which every window and locked door serves as a barrier to keep your soul's regeneration safe. This hour is your chance to let go of the past and discover the life you were destined to lead. You have never experienced the strength of this first midday like this. It occurs when unseen forces that are frequently concealed from view come together to release the emotional and spiritual bonds that have been holding you back. Consider it as a divine reset button that will realign your soul, mind, and heart toward unstoppable strength, clarity, and serenity. But your complete dedication is needed for this breakthrough. You can create a sacred space where transformation can occur by withdrawing to your home, locking all the doors, and blocking out outside distractions. Numerous accounts from people who have followed this heavenly instruction show amazing transformations, relationships that have been repaired, hope that has been restored, and clarity that shines through confusion like light through dark. You have the opportunity to step at noon today, out of uncertainty and into a life that is full of heavenly favor and purpose. Knowing that this moment will provide the groundwork for something genuinely transformative, it's time to get your heart and mind ready. Loneliness is often mistaken for isolation. However, spiritual seclusion is a haven for the soul, particularly during this potent midday hour. God's instruction to remain inside your house and keep all of your windows and doors locked is a purposeful act of repair and protection. You are not shutting down when you distance yourself from the outside world, rather, you are tuning into the higher frequencies of healing, spiritual strength, and calm that are only audible in silence. Your inner strength might be restored during this time of spiritual seclusion. Imagine your spirit as a battery that has been depleted by the stress of everyday existence. You create the ideal setting for recharging when you isolate yourself as directed. When the chaos, tension, and outside demands subside, space is created for serenity, concentration, and the presence of God. This is not a passive restoration. It is a powerful and aggressive reclamation of your hidden inner strength. Midday is the best time for profound healing and mental clarity, since it is when your spirit is most sensitive, emotionally vulnerable, and spiritually aware. This isn't just any old time. God has planned for you to face and let go of emotional baggage that have been weighing you down. You create a secure haven where your soul can open without worrying about criticism or disruption when you lock your doors and close your windows. During this holy time, emotional healing is like a rain of purification that clears away years of suffering, worry, and bewilderment. Many have an abrupt, sometimes overpowering, emotional outburst, which is a sign that the healing process is starting. Since vulnerability is the source of genuine strength and clarity, it's acceptable to feel vulnerable. Greater serenity, comprehension, and spiritual harmony become possible when you give yourself permission to completely experience this emotional release. This emotional purification is followed by clarity. You begin to see your life's path more clearly as the fog that earlier obscured your eyesight starts to clear. Your heart feels lighter, your purpose becomes clearer, and making decisions becomes easier. Knowing that your spirit is in harmony with divine will gives you the confidence to proceed with this precious clarity. In order to be ready to come out of this experience stronger, wiser, and more luminous, you must embrace the suffering as well as the possibility of regeneration. Miracles are possible when one obeys heavenly commands. It is not merely a physical act when God tells you to remain inside your house at noon with all of your windows and doors locked. It's a holy reset for your whole self. By removing collected negativity and setting you up to accept benefits that have been waiting in the wings for a long time, this moment acts as a spiritual reboot. You align yourself with the timing and purpose of heaven by obeying this divine mandate. Consider a computer that has been operating continuously, hampered by innumerable duties and errors. It gradually slows down or crashes if you don't reset it. In a similar vein, your soul and spirit need times of deliberate rest and defense. By enabling your heart and mind to rejuvenate, refocus, and realign with God's flawless design, this sacred reset is similar to pressing the reset button. The end effect is a deep sensation of rejuvenation, tranquility, and preparedness to enter your next stage of life. The spiritual aura this reset produces is what really makes it sacred. Behind the scenes, invisible forces are breaking shackles and paving the way in ways you are not yet aware of during these trapped moments. By inviting God's mighty presence, obedience itself transforms what could otherwise feel like loneliness into a holy experience. You set yourself up for an unfathomable breakthrough when you diligently obey this command. An awakening intended to improve all aspects of your life. Right now, there are advantages in your life that are concealed and waiting to be discovered at the appropriate time. The 2 middays you are getting ready for are not typical times. They are hallowed portals where individual breakthroughs and heavenly favor meet. You can access these undiscovered benefits that have been set aside exclusively for you by remaining indoors, guarding your own space, and concentrating your energy. Consider a seed that is buried far below the surface. Although its development is invisible, it is gaining strength and roots beneath the surface. During this holy seclusion, your personal life is also developing in ways that are invisible. The first noon focuses on your emotional traumas, relationships, and personal problems. It's the moment when God's hand reaches out to fix, repair, and improve your life. Your long-awaited breakthroughs will start to materialize at this point. During such holy moments, many have witnessed miraculous changes in their inner peace, family, wealth, and health. You become the ideal environment for blessings to grow when you follow this instruction to remain at home and locked in. Keep in mind that these blessings are not by chance. They are the direct outcome of your obedience, faith, and willingness to receive everything that God has planned for you. Though it is sometimes disregarded as a moment of importance, noon has great spiritual significance. It represents clarity, light, and the completeness of God's presence and occurs when the sun is at its zenith. Because spiritual energy is at its peak at this hour, it is ideal for transformation, rebirth, and heavenly encounters. At precisely noon, heaven seems to open a unique entrance, beckoning you to enter and be infused with new spiritual vitality. Our minds and bodies react to natural cycles, according to scientific research. The circadian rhythm affects one's ability to heal, be emotionally sensitive, and be aware. These cycles are precisely aligned with noon, which increases your openness to emotional breakthroughs and spiritual influence. Your prayers are more effective, your heart is more receptive, and your soul is more ready to welcome God's intervention because of your spiritual sensitivity at this time. For these 2 days, you are collaborating with this divine timing by purposefully locking yourself in at noon. Riding the crest of spiritual energy that will propel you toward rejuvenation is like to catching the ideal wave. It is impossible to exaggerate the importance of noon. In the mighty light of God's love, this is your golden hour, your divine appointment, and the time to completely rejuvenate and reset. You must prepare and purify your mind and heart in order to truly experience the transformational power of midday. This entails clearing your inner space of unfavorable ideas, anxieties, and uncertainties. Your clique is not small, it is part of a movement. Help us reach 1,000 voices by subscribing, liking, and leaving your word of faith in the comments. Thinking positively isn't the only way to keep your mind clear. It's about making room in your mind for your spirit to hear the faint hints of divine direction. Your heart becomes a warm haven for God's mighty presence when it is pure and devoid of anger, bitterness, or anxiety. It is similar to preparing soil before sowing seeds to get ready for this change. The soil should be ready to support new life, fertile and receptive. You can focus your spirit and untangle your emotions by taking practical measures like journaling, meditation, or prayer. The atmosphere created by this deliberate purification allows the spiritual awakening at midday to fully establish and thrive. The impact of the moment may fade without any lasting effects if this preparation is not done. Keep in mind that the change you are going to undergo is not temporary or superficial. It is a profound, long-lasting rejuvenation that affects every aspect of your being. You invite a profound change in your personal life, one that mends old wounds and creates avenues you never imagined imaginable, when you approach the first midday with a clear head and heart. By making this preparation, you are demonstrating your readiness to receive everything that God has in store for you. Being asked to cut yourself off from the outer world might make isolation seem intimidating. However, this heavenly seclusion at midday is not a penalty. The path from vulnerability to empowerment is a potent one. You can create a sacred space where distractions are removed and your spirit can develop and expand in ways that are impossible in the bustle of daily life by closing your doors and windows. Consider this seclusion to be a spiritual furnace. In the same way that fire refines metal, these hours are strengthening and purifying your soul. Midday intensifies spiritual energy, increasing your awareness of your strengths and flaws. Knowing that spiritual assistance is all around you, now is the time to bravely face your inner struggles. What starts off as isolation swiftly turns into a source of intense empowerment. After spending these times alone, many people who have followed this road report feeling more confident and purposeful than before. They come out with a stronger sense of their value and purpose in life, ready to face obstacles head-on with poise and fortitude. The moment you enter your house, your path from loneliness to empowerment begins. Lock all the doors and give yourself up to the holy process that God has initiated. If personal healing is the focus of the first noon, then something equally potent but very different is brought about by the second noon. Fresh possibilities and spiritual development. This hour serves as a portal through which God invites you to enter areas of favor, success, and divine advancement that previously appeared to be permanently closed. On a bigger scale, it's a turning point that goes beyond self-healing and touches on destiny and meaning. In your life, this second noon is like the start of a new chapter. Opportunities that appeared unattainable unexpectedly become available. This is the time when divine intervention makes it possible for you to succeed, whether it's through a new vocation, a career progression, or unanticipated financial and relationship rewards. It serves as a reminder that God has perfect timing. And miracles happen when you believe Him and follow His instructions. The fact that this moment is directly related to your obedience throughout the first midday is what makes it so special. The doors that are swinging wide open are now supported by the foundation that your healing and spiritual preparation laid. As you get ready for this second transformative midday, welcome it with confidence, thankfulness, and anticipation. Success on the outside is not the only aspect of the divine ascent that awaits you. It involves truly embracing the life that God has planned for you. The second noon is more than just a time for observing. It's a heavenly call to take advantage of the opportunity and venture fearlessly into uncharted spiritual ground. You put yourself in a position to accept God's unambiguous guidance onto hitherto undiscovered avenues when you stay at home, doors locked and heart alert. This is your chance to overcome obstacles, find new passions, and welcome the future that is just around the corner. Imagine yourself at a crossroads where divine light shines in all directions. The decisions you make during and after this hour are extremely important since God's supernatural influence is behind them. You go from waiting in doubt to boldly stepping into your destiny when you grab this moment. There is development, potential, and the kind of fulfillment that changes every aspect of your life along the spiritual routes that open up. The unquestionable sense of congruence this hour provides is what makes it so captivating. The road ahead feels suddenly clearer and more hopeful as doors open and responses arrive swiftly. However, none of this occurs by accident. It is the direct outcome of your obedience to God's instruction. Therefore, be prepared, keep your heart open, and take advantage of the opportunity with bravery and anticipation. You will soon receive a spiritual promotion that will increase your power and influence in the areas of life where you have shown faithfulness. This promotion takes shape at the second noon. A subtle yet significant change that improves your standing in God's kingdom and in your day-to-day life. You're getting ready to influence, lead, and motivate in ways you never thought possible. This promotion goes beyond a job title or position. It's a profound sense of empowerment that changes the way you present yourself and how other people see you. Imagine becoming taller, speaking more confidently, and making choices that are guided by divine insight and open doors for both you and other people. Gaining spiritual authority is a blessing, a duty, and a precious trust. Stories of people who abruptly ascended to their divinely appointed position of influence after seasons of training and trial abound in history. Now is your chance to carry on that tradition. As you obey and revere the noons, know that the promotion that awaits you is genuine, observable, and intended to improve not just your life but also the lives of everybody you come into contact with. The call of your divine destiny is loud and clear. And the holy key to opening it is noon. Timing isn't the only factor here. It is about bringing your spirit into harmony with God's everlasting design. You set the stage for destiny to happen when you shut your doors and enter this hallowed place at midday. God seems to be waiting to make your purpose, mission, and the difference you are supposed to make in the world clear. It takes trust, bravery, and the ability to let go of things that no longer serve you to step into your divine destiny. The noons serve as a spiritual furnace that polishes and equips you to fearlessly pursue your vocation. This time encourages you to let go of your fears and uncertainties, to look forward to a bright future, and to have faith that God is directing your every move. Numerous people have experienced comparable moments of heavenly encounter where they felt this sacred power flare inside them. It's a sense of being deeply recognized and selected, of plainly hearing God's voice in the stillness. On the other side of this change, your future awaits you. With the knowledge that you are forever backed and equipped by God, take it on with courage. Hidden forces operate beneath the surface of the everyday world. Spiritual forces that have the power to help or hurt your life's path. These forces are at their strongest during the 2 holy noons you are getting ready for. The chosen ones, those who follow God's instruction to isolate themselves, can use these potent energies to drastically alter their life's trajectory, while the ordinary may feel exposed and uneasy. These unseen forces function in ways that are incomprehensible to humans. However, their impacts are palpable. Imagine them as invisible currents that are powerful enough to alter a river's course or speed. Creating a sacred space at noon not only shields you from these powerful currents, but it also aligns you with them in a way that helps you go ahead. You can ride the wave of divine favor rather than being carried away by chaos thanks to this alignment. It takes attention, trust, and intentionality to harness these powers. Your intentional seclusion, pure heart, and spiritual awareness make you a lighthouse that attracts these forces to your mission rather than allowing them to buffet it. This significant change will pave the way for discoveries, favors, and advancement that permeate all areas of your life. The hardest part of waiting is usually knowing that something significant is going to happen. However, patience is not a passive quality. It is a proactive spiritual position that gets you ready for success. You are receiving a divine invitation to transition from waiting in doubt to winning with elegance and confidence during these 2 noons. The pivotal moments in many of the greatest spiritual tales followed periods of silent obedience and fortitude. Despite the uncertainty of the route, the promise of breakthrough necessitated faith in God's timing. Chosen Archangel is not just a channel, it is a calling. Subscribe now, press like, and write a comment so together we can reach our 1,000 soul family. Your waiting period serves as a training field for developing your faith, character, and spiritual muscles. You develop the resilience required to maintain your breakthrough during this period. You connect yourself with God's perfect plan when you practice patience. The reward is not just the actual breakthrough but also the wisdom and spiritual development attained along the way. Purposeful waiting guarantees that your win will be long-lasting, transformative, and a testament to your loyalty. It's time to rejoice in the victory that God has planned for you following 2 holy noons of obedience, seclusion, and spiritual preparation. This victory is more than simply a single instance, it's a turning point, a strong, obvious change that ushers in a new era in your life. It is the result of your discipline, faith, and readiness to believe in God's perfect timing. Celebrate this triumph by realizing how much you've changed and how far you've come. Words cannot adequately describe the breakthroughs that occurred throughout these hours. You might experience a resurgence of happiness, tranquility, or a profound and enduring sense of God's presence. This is the magnificent recompense that you deserve. Evidence that obedience leads to immeasurable blessings. Let your celebration serve as a reminder to others and a ray of hope for those who are still in the dark. Your success serves as a vivid illustration of how God can change lives when we completely surrender to Him and do as He says. Knowing that this is only the start of a lifetime full with divine favor and limitless opportunities, carry this victory with you as you move forward. One of the most difficult spiritual practices is faithful waiting. It does, however, contain the secret to your heavenly breakthrough. You are sowing the seeds of triumph that will grow into transformative outcomes when you trust God's timing and obey during these holy noon hours. Your breakthrough wasn't given to you by chance. It is the prize for your perseverance, faith, and steadfast devotion to God's purpose. When things appear to be stagnating, loyal waiting is choosing hope over despair. It entails keeping your word even when it seems far off. God is working in the background during this season to polish your spirituality and make all the details work in your favor. The hands of God have prepared the breakthrough you are looking for. And the thing that will make it happen is the patience you have. This complex prize will help your path, provide you clarity in your intellect, and bring you calm in your soul. It affects every aspect of your life, including relationships, money, health, and purpose. As if by divine decree, you will start to witness previously locked doors open and barriers vanish. The result of your waiting is a breakthrough so strong that it gives you the courage and delight to start the next phase of your life. Keep in mind that innovations rarely happen overnight. The ideal illustration of this divine concept can be found in the holy noons you witnessed. You can anticipate amazing manifestations of God's timing as long as you keep walking in obedience and confidence. You're closer to your breakthrough than you realize. Prepare to welcome it with open arms and a heart full of gratitude. The observable proof of God's supernatural involvement in your life is a miracle. You put yourself in a position to see miracles happen in ways that defy human reasoning once you have faithfully and obediently observed the holy midday hours. These are the times when heaven and earth meet, transforming seemingly insurmountable circumstances into manifestations of heavenly might. Having an open heart and a mentality that is prepared to acknowledge benefits when they come is necessary for manifesting miracles. Healing, financial success, mended relationships, or an epiphany about your future are all possible. These miracles, which are a reflection of God's infinite love and wisdom, frequently occur when you least expect them to, but always at the ideal moment. They serve as a reminder that the person who keeps everything together can handle any challenge. The miracles that occur after noon are not random occurrences. Your spiritual alignment is directly responsible for them. You may foster an environment where miracles can occur when you secure your space, lock your doors, and close your windows. Your faith draws blessings that change your reality from the inside out, much like a magnet. Be ready to share and enjoy these marvels as you go forward. They will encourage others who are waiting for their own divine intervention in addition to confirming your faith. Miracles demonstrate the presence of God's hand. And the floodgates of heaven's grace have been opened by your obedience during these holy hours. A significant change, spiritual elevation, is the raising of your soul into new levels of power, purpose, and insight. It's a metamorphosis that changes your perspective on the world and yourself. This ascent is triggered by the second sacred noon. An hour in which you are lifted by God's favor into a new realm of spiritual authority and above your prior restrictions. Everything is altered by this elevation. You start to act more confidently, think differently, and communicate with authority based on heavenly understanding. Your choices are more significant. Your influence grows and your relationships get deeper. You seem to have been endowed with a fresh pair of spiritual eyes that are able to see past appearances and into the core of God's purpose for your life. Spiritual elevation offers happiness and serenity that surpasses situational changes. Since your identity is solidly based on God's truth, you are no longer constrained by fear, uncertainty, or insecurity. This elevation lasts a lifetime. It changes your course and exhorts you to bravely pursue the mission that God has planned for you. This height is intended to break every bond if you have ever felt constrained or stuck. It gracefully and powerfully invites you to embrace the totality of your destiny. This new season will genuinely transform your life, so get ready to embrace it. The path to heavenly favor is obedience. A heavenly key to extraordinary supply, blessings, and abundance. God blesses your faithfulness with abundant grace when you follow His instructions to stay at home, close your doors, and guard your spirit during these holy noon hours. Favor is opened by a heart that trusts and submits, not by good deeds. Favor can take many different forms. Unexpected cash gains, heavenly connections, innovative concepts, and safety during a crisis. Abundance is found in relationships, opportunities, peace, and joy in addition to material wealth. Those who comply are surrounded by God's favor, which transforms their steps into a graceful and meaningful dance. There are several instances in the Bible and history of how obedience brought about plenty. Joseph ascending to the palace from prison. Daniel flourished in exile, while innumerable others were blessed in unfeasible situations. You join the ranks of people who enjoy God's many blessings because of your obedience during these holy noons. Keep in mind that favor is like a light that directs and a shield that protects. You put yourself in a position to receive God's best when you walk in obedience. Your committed reaction will unleash the abundant life that has been promised to you. The process of transformation is not a passive one. It's a strong, unbridled energy that helps you reach your full potential. This change is sparked by the holy noon hours, which disrupt established routines and bring in a fresh reality brimming with heavenly power and intent. This is your chance to rise with the Spirit's strength and empowerment. You start to perceive yourself as worthwhile, capable, and destined for greatness in God's sight when transformation is allowed to take hold. Confidence takes root and fear loses its hold. You discover the strength to go for dreams that seemed unattainable, and your abilities and gifts spring to life with renewed vitality. Every aspect of your life is impacted by this change. Your spiritual journey deepens, your job paths become clearer, and your relationships get healthier. You start to have a good impact on people around you and become a source of strength and hope for your neighborhood. Embracing the difficulties and triumphs with faith is essential to stepping into your God-given potential. As you get closer to God, this dynamic process keeps happening. Have faith that the change sparked by these holy noons will propel you into a future full of influence and meaning. It can be difficult and even isolating to practice spiritual discipline. However, it has unspoken benefits that change your life in unexpected ways. You must isolate oneself in holy solitude and detach from the outside world during the sacrosanct noons, which is a rigorous discipline. Even while it might appear difficult, the benefits that await you on the other side greatly exceed any short-term difficulty. These unspoken benefits surpass monetary gains. The word spreads through you. Share this video, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and let us rise together until we hit 1,000. These include a deep connection to God's heart, increased spiritual awareness, and inner tranquility. You develop spiritual maturity and resilience when you train yourself to obey during these holy hours. You establish a foundation of faith that is impervious to life's storms. Additionally, this profession provides access to insight and favor from beyond the natural. Many people who have adopted spiritual discipline report unexpected chances that seem to appear out of nowhere, as well as startling clarity and creative ideas. It seems as though the heavens themselves bestow things that are concealed from the average person as a reward for good management. You are making a holy investment in your future at this time of discipline. The benefits are eternal, but sacrifice is necessary. Enhanced moral fiber, a closer relationship with God, and a life characterized by divine plenty. You are already reaping the benefits of your obedience, setting you up for everything that God has in store for you. Although achieving success frequently seems like an uphill battle, the sacred noons represent a period in your journey when supernatural barriers are broken. A heavenly shift that breaks down barriers is triggered when you obediently follow God's instruction to withdraw and protect your spirit. This marks the beginning of a new phase of your success, one that is characterized by purpose and spiritual alignment in addition to accomplishment. Internal doubt, anxiety, limiting beliefs, and external obstacles like toxic relationships or financial difficulties can all act as barriers. God breaks down these barriers and gives you the strength to pass past seemingly insurmountable barricades during these potent hours. Boom. Chosen one, remember this: heaven never sends a word without purpose. If this message has stirred your spirit, let it shine brighter. Press like so the light spreads to others walking in darkness. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel so you never miss the next divine revelation. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your testimony may be the very spark that awakens another soul. Until we meet again, stay covered by the wings of heaven and walk boldly in your calling.